What's up, everyone, and welcome to the RRBG podcast. In this episode, I talked to Colin and Mathieu of Absent in Body and Amenra. We talked about the new Absent in Body album, Play God, which is available on Relapse Records. We talked a little bit about the writing process behind it, how they met with Scott Kelly and Igor from Sepultura. We talked a bit about their visual aesthetics. We talked about the Church of Ra. We talked about Malakai Black's connection with them and the AEW having their music on national television. It was an interesting conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to pick up Absent in Body's Play God out on Relapse Records. Check out Amenra when you get a chance. Make sure to subscribe, hit the little heart, the follow button, the bell, and check out our Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/RRBG and support the podcast. Cheers. All right. Now I'm Cuban, and I'm gonna make an attempt at saying both of your last names.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. Let's see if I get this right. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the RRBG podcast. I am being joined by Mr. Colin Eeckhout. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Close?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm also joined by Mathieu van der Kerckhove. Did I say that right?
Almost, yeah. Van der Kerckhove.
Van der Kerckhove. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
yes. Very good.
Nice. All right. Well, I got that out of the way. We're done. Yeah. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, but you guys are here representing Absent in Body today. You're also from the band Amenra, both of you. And thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure.
Our pleasure. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Now, you both have been doing Amenra for a long time. I know since like 1999.
Yeah.
I got to see you guys, thankfully, at Psycho Las Vegas a few years ago.
Yeah.
Fantastic show.
Thank you.
Yeah. But this Absent in Body is really, really great. I was listening it today. I listened to the whole album today, and it's very heavy, but good. You know, passionate. It feels like there's so many layers of emotions in there. Like the combination of Colin screaming with Scott's from Neurosis is just a beautiful mix.
Yeah. It's all me doing vocals, though.
It's all you vocals? All of it? Wow. Yeah. Okay, then crazy. I thought he was doing a little background stuff because I hear multiple different like sounds coming from you.
Yeah, I recorded them all different layers. Yeah.
Very, very cool. So what was the decision to do kind of, because, you know, with Amenra, it's kind of more of a consistent style. So what made you want to switch it up here?
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out which voice to use, because when I was listening to the instrumentals, I always heard like a low-pitched voice, and naturally I have a high-pitched voice, so I was kind of hesitating, like if I would be the man to do the vocals, but and then we started looking for that low-pitched voice, and then we found it, and then we according to the story we're telling, we adjust vocals along the way. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And now, how did you guys put this together? I mean, hanging out with Scott Kelly and Igor from you know, the Cavalera fame. So, how did this all come together? You guys are from different countries and everything.
Yeah. We invited Scott Kelly and Igor to our friend's studio. Tim, our bass player of Amenra, he has a studio. So I made the blueprints, and when Scott Kelly was on tour, he joined us in the studio, and then Igor, he's from London. He came with a train to Belgium. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why it took a bit long to record the album, because they were from different countries. And,
right, travel logistics, especially you know, during the pandemic, which is crazy. You know.
Yeah. Well, most of the music was recorded before the pandemic. It was just the vocals.
Oh, okay.
In the beginning of the pandemic, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So when you were writing the music itself, I read a little bit about the theme of the album being about over sensory, you know, over like too much going on with the internet and society and politics and everything. So here in America, it feels almost like a bubble, right? You know, everybody thinks that this is like a local problem. Like they're, oh, it's Biden's fault or it's Trump's fault. It's like, this is a global issue. Like, you guys don't understand. So tell me how it is that affects you guys over there in terms of the oversensory. Because, you know, I figured you think it's just an American kind of lifestyle thing, but it's not. It's everywhere.
Yeah, well, I think some countries or cultures have it more than others, but it's definitely the info you get right now. Like a few decades ago, the only info you had was the things happening in your village, you know, or in the city, or just, you know, and with the family and stuff. But now you really know what is happening in the world at, you know, every minute of the day almost, and it's not always. It's not always, you know, good stuff that you see passing by, and it's pretty hard to function as like a living organism, you know, and you empathize with things happening, but still you can't do much about it sometimes, and it's frightening, you know.
Yeah.
And what you see right now, like with the Russia Ukraine stuff, the media propaganda machine. And what we kind of saw in your country is that the division, it all depends on what news channels you're watching, what your opinion will be and stuff. And it's kind of frightening how much power that has. And anyway, so all that stuff got seeped in there, you know, and the fact that the world is going to shreds.
Yeah. Barely hanging on. That's where we're at. Yeah, it's interesting, man. That, you know, you see some of the things that are out there. It depends on how you. It's how you cultivate your feed these days. How you cultivate your algorithm, right? Yeah. You know, what videos are you watching? Because don't click on that, because then it'll switch to what recommendations are going to come in from whatever, you know, YouTube or Spotify or whatever it is.
Yeah. Makes it hard to open up to different opinions or other opinions, you know, or realize that there's something else out there sometimes, you know. It's weird times we're living in.
How do you fight that though when you're in a band and you want to get the music out to people? So eventually you have to deal with things like a Spotify or whatever, you know, and it's how do you confront that issue? Because it's twofold, you know. Internally, you're kind of against what they're doing, but at the same time, you need to use that tool as a means of access.
Yeah, that's true what you are saying. That's the only thing we can say about it. We need it, but you're also against it. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah,
that's the state of the world right now, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it? Yeah. So how do we do? You know, because you talk a lot. You have, you know, you're the founding father of the Church of Ra, which is like a religion of sorts, right? Tell me a little bit about that. I'm interested because that's the only way to get people to kind of open up about different ideas.
Mm-hmm. Well, the band started it's something that grew out of Amenra. The band started in 1999. And then after a couple of years, you know, we obviously we're musicians and music is our main thing, but as you know, with the music comes the artwork, comes the video clips, comes whatever you're doing, you know. So every artistic outlet that we had, we wanted to align with the music, you know. Everything had to make sense, and everything had to send out the same message. And a lot of our friends and peers that are around us helped us with that. You know, we had painters and graphic designers, video artists and contemporary dancers, whatever. So we all were like doing the same thing with our individual artistic medium. And we realized that, we were forming a bigger circle than the band. You know, it became a collective of like-minded people. So it had to get a name. So it weren't the 5 musicians that were credited for everything that we're doing. So from there out, Church of Ra was born, and the Church of Ra is pretty much like it's the church of life. It's like we're trying to to tell our stories right, and it's a direct line, you know, and in that sense that we are very, very personal in our things, in our storytelling. Mm-hmm. And we address the core of human life, you know. So all the metaphors and emotions that we are working with are pretty much recognizable by every human being, loose of what style of music they prefer, pretty much. So it's hard to explain. It's a very abstract thing. But, you know, people have to make their own story of it. They have to transpose the idea on themselves and fill in the blanks as they feel needed, you know.
Yeah. I've always been a fan of the abstract and you know, trying to push extremities of you know, sensory levels, you know, in terms of art or music. And I've always found it that, you know, it tends to stay to like a smaller audience because it's so niche, it's so abstract that takes, you know, people have a hard time understanding it. And then when you try to explain it to people, you really don't know what words to use. You just need to show it to them, right?
Yeah.
And I think you guys do put on a very good presentation visually. Everything, the aesthetics, everything about it looks great, you know?
Yeah, it's something you need to feel, and you can't explain, but you feel, you see it, you understand it, but you just can't put words to it. You know, it's a feeling of connection sometimes, whatever.
But I feel like now, actually, you guys are getting a lot more attention to what's going on, thanks to collaborating with Malakai Black over at AEW. Now you got your music playing on national television every week. You know, it's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, with both bands. So it's we're lucky there that Tom Malakai, found us, and he's really a nice guy. So
how did that happen? Did he reach out to you guys?
He's friends with one of the Relapse guys.
Yeah.
With some of the Relapse guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And it's also from Holland.
Yeah.
And because of the last Amenra record was in Dutch, so for him that was very important. So that's why he used the song of the latest album.
Nice. So I mean, the country Holland, I mean, it has a history, but you think of this dark style, this like darker, more, you know, aesthetically, to somebody who's not into this style of music, when they see it, they think scary, or there's like skulls and there's, you know, satanic maybe, or whatever they want to call it, you know. How do you explain to someone like that, or to open up their mind to potentially, you know, enjoying something like this and seeing the beauty in it instead of trying to shy away from it?
Yeah. A lot of humans will always be short-sighted. You know, they kind of trust on the cliches and the first opinions, and sometimes they stop there. But sometimes you need to go take a step deeper to really understand the thing and know what it's about, and not be overwhelmed by screaming and loudness. So, I mean, heavy music can articulate very specific emotions because of that volume, because of that power. It's crazy. So, I mean, it's recognizable to a lot of people. I mean, most people at some point in their life, they feel like screaming, or, you know, they're so frustrated about something or whatever, or hurt, that they, you know, scream it off, and sometimes that music can be a vehicle for that. And I mean, I don't know, there's, you know, everyone has its tastes and its preferences, you know.
Oh yeah, and you have a very unique voice too. Like, your style is, the second I hear it, I know it's you. And that's very difficult to do in this genre, because, You know, that's one of the complaints that a lot of people that don't listen to the style of like metal or anything like that, they say, oh, the screaming, it's always the same, you know.
Yeah.
Yours stands out. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's true. It sounds the same a lot, but you know, a scream is a scream. You cannot harmonize on screams, or you shouldn't. You know.
Yeah. So tell me about that kind of that scream, that passion that you're trying to express. What do you think is the driving force for you? Is it personally, on a personal level, when you're creating this art, is this something that's coming from your childhood? Is this something that's more cultural in Holland that I don't understand, perhaps, because I've never been to the country?
I don't think it's cultural. I think it's like I always made a comparison to like when you're walking down the street and you hear a loud scream or a heartfelt scream. Somebody shouts, everybody stops, and everybody looks where it comes from. You know, it draws your attention. It you know, it takes you to a halt, and you want to know what it is, and you want to know what's happening, and you want to get to the bottom of it. It's really weird. So that's the initial idea of a scream. You know, it should hurt. It should come from as deep as possible inside you for it to be really felt. You can, you know, like fake scream in mics and stuff, and it does the trick. But it's kind of weird, you know. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, it has to cost you something physically to do it. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the sound that came out of there. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, has the rising, you know, popularity with your music being on television, has that changed you in any way? Like, are you more stressed out now because more people are hitting you up? Are you, you know, or are you welcoming it? Does this feel good? Like you're like growing, and now what's the next step for the band?
For me personally, it's not stressing, but it's a good thing that you get more attention. But it's not stressing. And for the next album, maybe. I think I will create again some songs, but I'm happy. My state of mind is that I have the freedom to create. I don't want to set me borders and to create. So I think it will be. I'm not going to be stressed. Yeah.
That's good. I was going to say, like, for some people, when they get to a certain, you know, like they get this opportunity to be on TV, it kind of affects your writing process too, because you're kind of like, well, okay, now we're going to make it so that more people can enjoy it, and it'll change your style. And you know, it's good to hear that you don't want to. You're just going to be free of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So where do you think? So since you said this music was kind of written before the pandemic. Now I'm assuming that the new stuff is going to be a little more intense because we've gone through some shit since the last time.
That's true.
Yeah. It's a little more powerful, I would assume.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I hope the pandemic is going to stop soon, but we will see. Because a lot of the music I made when I was on tour with Amenra, I spent a lot of time in the bus.
Yeah.
So I have to get back on the road again to create new music.
So you feel more comfortable writing while you're on the road as opposed to like going on the road and then getting home and writing?
I think because at home I have I take care of my family, the kids, stuff like that, do shopping. And when I'm on tour, I have like nothing around me, you know. I can just focus on the music whenever I want to create.
And you're just are you just writing with a guitar? Or are you writing on the computer, like on a
it's
program?
just a computer, drum computer, and synths, all with MIDI stuff. Yeah.
MIDI stuff. That's cool.
It's very easy. And that's why we on the records we blend. Digital drums with Igor's drums and his normal analog drums. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, it's very industrial style. You know, I love the mix of bringing in some more industrial elements to the music too, you know. So have you started writing at all? Or are you planning on hitting the road soon?
We're going on tour with Amenra, I think, 1st April. So that's in about 2 weeks in Europe for 30 days. So I hope I will make some new songs. Yeah,
Nice.
We will see. I don't want to put myself some pressure on it. I'm more the guy who let it flow and not think too much about it. But we will see.
That's good. That's great. So in terms of visuals too for the new tour, do you guys change it up? Because I mean, it felt to me, what I saw at Psycho, it felt like a whole presentation, you know, like a story that went through, and visually all the lighting and everything that went into it. Is that something that you're planning on growing, you know, bringing in more elements? Do you experiment with lighting and anything like that?
Yeah. We're not there yet. You know, we've been working with visuals for a couple of years now, but that's, I think, in my opinion, that's the only thing that we weren't able to like really refine yet. You know, like because we're always busy with the music, and when that's done, you know, then we start with the visuals, and then most of the time there's a little lack of time to really do it as we would want to do it. But it gets adjusted all the time, and like now with the new songs and the new albums, we have other visuals. Obviously, yeah, it changes.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most appealing things. That's what's gonna really grab the bigger audiences that are, you know, watching AEW, is also the visuals that are going on with Malakai and his people, because you know, very dark. They have the similar, you know, the skulls, like the artwork. So you know, it's all tied together, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I mean, yeah, people hear, people see. You have to try to nail everything, you know. And the more you can nail, the more you have them in your grasp, or you have their attention. You know, you have to try by all means necessary. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And this is, you know, you're on Relapse Records. I mean, they've been doing a good job of trying to get vinyl out, but it's been such a nightmare with some of the plants out here trying to get the vinyl for people, huh?
Yeah, same here.
Same here.
It's everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 6 to 9 months delay or something, I think. Down here, yeah.
But what is it? What, we're just out of wax? Like, what's going on?
Man.
Yeah, everybody's been writing albums. Everybody wrote too much albums at the same time, probably.
Yeah. That's a big, you know, last year was a very good year, and this year is probably going to get more music by the end of it. But that's great. That's a good problem to have, I think. It's better to have more good music that we all enjoy than, you know, there was a time where, you know, heavier music kind of went away for a little bit, and now it's starting to be popular again, so that's good. Yeah. So in terms of touring here in the States, is there any plans, and if they are, like, is there any bands that you would really want to work with? Like, who would you want to be on tour with?
We just yesterday, or was it today, that we announced that we're playing on Psycho Las Vegas.
Oh, the new Psycho, yes. They announced that yesterday or today? Yeah.
Today.
The Psycho lineup.
Yeah, we'll probably glue some shows onto that after that Psycho show. So yeah, I don't know, bands. We've been lucky to have toured with a lot of bands that we love, you know, like Neurosis and Converge and Job and who else? I mean, so it's really cool. And I always love to like tour with the same people because you know them so well. You know, you're just a bunch of friends doing your thing, you know. Yeah. But I'm thinking what other bands.
Like for me, off the top of my head, I would think like a Behemoth because they also very visual and heavy music as well. So I feel like their crowd would appreciate what you guys are doing as well. You know,
could we? We're slower, eh? I don't know if they would appreciate it. I'd hope so, but
yeah, you're slower, but it's still, you know, visually it's on the same level, and you know, loudness and passion and everything. You know.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
I think so.
Everybody's welcome.
Is there anything that you listen to that people would be surprised that you listen to, considering the type of music you make?
Yeah. I think everyone listen to music that people doesn't want to know what music you are listening to. So no. But I listen to like Flemish songs.
Okay.
A lot, like, but also like new wave. I'm listening to because I feel like the sadness in the music as well. Stuff like that. Yeah.
How about you, Colin?
I listen to a lot of hip hop last times. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm really stoked about how they use language and how much they write. I couldn't, understand how much pages of lyrics you can know by heart on a show. It's crazy. Like when I write, I have one page, they have like fucking 15 pages. But they have an interesting way of working with language and rhymes and how they and the timing of their words and stuff. So yeah, I'm intrigued.
Have you ever tried it?
Not really.
No, you should try to freestyle one time. Let's see what happens.
My guns, I think.
You imagine that'll be a new side project for you. You get a rap album out.
Yeah. Too old for that now.
No, have you seen? There's a rap duo from I think like England or Ireland somewhere that are older gentlemen. They're all gray.
They're really good. I mean, I like that.
Old geezers, is that something out there? I think something like that. The old geezers.
I don't know.
I forget what they're called, but yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
I mean, you should. I've always found that fascinating. I've seen some people at parties. I'll go to a party, for a band after show or something, and I stayed till like 3 a.m, and there was a girl there, and she started rapping out of nowhere, and it wasn't a song. Like she wasn't singing somebody's song. She was just freestyling. And she looked possessed. You know what I mean? Like she looked like something hit her, and she was just. I'm like, whoa, what just happened? And it felt like an intrusion from like an outside energy or something. It was just so weird.
Yeah, it has to be. It seems to be so hard. It's crazy,
Yeah, I can't do it. I've tried. It's not good. So, do you guys have any other hobbies outside of music? Do you guys play video games? Do you guys do you watch wrestling? Do you watch AEW's, like Malakai and work and everything?
They don't really show it here.
They don't show it there?
No.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? They don't have any kind of broadcast? Like maybe online or something?
The only one that I know was Hulk.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
In that time, when it still was WWF, ages ago, then they showed it on TV here. Yeah. But since then, there was nothing.
Wow, that's a fail on their part. So, the whole market right there, no money.
I wish I can see it live once.
You should, man. You should try and plan it with talk to Tommy and see when you guys go, because that's really what it is. It's watching it live because TV's it's TV. When you're there, you feel the energy of what's going on.
The people
it's good. That's cool. So do you?
I can imagine.
So any hobbies at all, Colin? Like do you read? Do you?
No,
woodworking.
I don't do much really. I'm always busy with the bands and things around that, and then trying to raise my kids not too badly, and that pretty much takes all my time. Yeah, some skateboarding occasionally. That's it.
Okay, skateboarding is cool. How about you, Matthew?
I used to skate a lot, but now I bought me a camera, and I like to take some photographs.
That's right.
And because of in the pandemic, I took before the pandemic as well, but now with the pandemic, I bought me to get me more into photography. So
I like it. I see them on your on your Instagram. If you guys go to it's his name at Mathieu. Oh my God, let me do it again. Van der Kerckhove.
Van der Kerckhove.
Kerckhove. There we go.
You know what that means?
It means from the graveyard.
From the graveyard.
Yeah.
Wow, I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna run out of time here shortly.
Okay.
We have 9 minutes left. But so if you guys were to come here to the States to do a few shows, August, I believe, that's when Psycho's happening.
Yeah.
So that's when we should expect some other shows. I would love for you guys to come to the West Coast to California. That way we can see you out here. But
we'll have a coffee then.
Yeah.
Oh yes. We can have coffee out here. We can make you a coffee if you guys want to raw coffee. Let's do it.
Make coffee out of it.
Yeah.
What about beer? Do you guys drink?
Yeah, I drink. Yeah,
Matthew, you drink.
Yes, and you probably know Belgium is the country with the most beer. So
yeah,
I feel lucky.
Yeah, you're at the source. You know?
Yeah.
There's a brewery out there called Cantillon. That's my favorite. They make sour beers. They're
like almost every village has his own beer. It's very popular in Belgium.
That's awesome.
All kind of beers. Yeah.
Well, you guys should get your own beer. We can make that happen too. You know, if you want.
Yeah. I will send you one then.
Oh yes, please. Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Absent and Body comes out, when is it? March 25th? March 25th on Relapse. I heard the whole thing, and it's powerful, man. Very, very powerful. I love it. And,
thank you very much.
I'm hoping to hear more. You know, I like Amenra too, so I want to hear more of that too. I know that's asking too much. That's a lot of work for both of you guys. But yeah, I love what you're doing. I appreciate you coming on the show. Anybody wants to follow you guys? The Instagrams, those are the best places?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Instagram, yeah. I mean, I don't like Twitter.
We don't really use that a lot out here. More for you guys,
Yeah, I don't like it either. It's not good. Well, again, thank you for being on, Colin, Mathieu. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks.